triplets, David, Philip and Peter, were adopted when they were 4 years old and have never known the identity of their birth father. They're wondering if analysing their DNA can solve the mystery of their ethnicity. I'm in Belfast to meet up with Peter and David. Unfortunately, Philip has an underlying health condition and is shielding for the next few months.
Hello.
Mate, how are you?
I'm good.
You're Peter.
I'm Peter, yep. David's in the kitchen.
Who's the oldest?
Me, by about 20 minutes. So I know growing up, I always remember feeling like the big brother.
Yeah. I'm the eldest, so you have to listen to me.
Yeah.
I'm in charge. So you've got family in England?
We do, yeah. Our birth family are from England.
Where are they?
It's near Liverpool.
We were born in Merseyside.
Mummy, she was a policewoman. She was a very career-driven woman.
The first scan my mum went for, there was only one baby, and then she went for the second scan, and then there was a second baby there, and then she went for the third scan, and then there was another one. So, come the fourth scan, I think she was starting to panic. Mum died when we were 2, and then we were adopted. Then we moved over to Northern Ireland.
Growing up, it was a tough time. Like going to school, we were the only coloured kids in school. And the children are ruthless. That's why we needed each other for support. It's made us stronger.
So you know a bit about your birth mother,
Yeah.
but nothing
Nothing really
about your
about
birth father.
Bob's
Yeah.
birth father, yeah.
You don't even know what ethnicity
No.
your father was.
Yeah,
No, nothing.
What ethnicity do you think you might be?
Mediterranean or something like that.
Yeah. I was thinking South American, but
I always liked the thought of South America.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that always, like,
Go and have a nice holiday in Latin
Yeah.
America.
yeah.
Why do you need to know?
I think it's to give you a sense of belonging. Everybody deserves, to know who created them.
It just sort of feels like our birth mums, she wasn't going to say anything until we were that bit older. And then, just unfortunately, she never got round to it.
How did she die?
Pneumonia.
Lobar
So it was-
pneumonia, yeah.
lobar pneumonia.
So we have no memories of her
Memories. Yeah.
at all.
That's tricky.
Peter and David's adoptive parents made photo albums for each boy to give them as much information as possible about their past.
Oh my goodness. So this is yours, Peter.
This is mine, yeah.
And this is your birth mother.
Yeah.
Gillian, she was 33 years old when the triplets were born. This is a picture of her around that time. It was a great deal of work caring for 3 babies all by herself and short of money too. Gillian did not find it easy to look after her little boys, and this made her very unhappy. Jeez.
Even whenever I read it, I get a lump in my throat.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because you start thinking how panicked like my mummy must have been when she found out that she was pregnant, with not only 1 but 3, and
Yeah.
she maybe felt like she was losing control of the situation.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it was never hidden from us, the nitty-gritty of it.
One day in July 1987, they found Gillian not able to look after the boys. You all right, mate?
I'm good.
How often would you say you think about your birth mother?
All the time. Nearly daily. I always like to think I'm making her proud because it's your mother,
Have either of you thought, God, I wonder, what she would make of all of this?
I think she would want us to find answers because we deserve to know, I think.
Yeah.
We've got each other no matter how bad it is, you know, it's still an answer.
Any answer, any information is better than
any
nothing.
would be better than no outcome, you know, whatsoever.
So this year has the potential to be a pretty enormous year for you.
Not a year we're likely to forget.
Definitely not.
Wow, watch this space.
Peter and David have travelled to the University of Leicester to meet leading geneticist Professor Churi King. She'll be working with a team of genealogists, social workers and counsellors, attempting to uncover their ancestry and help them through the process.
Hello.
Hello there.
Come on in, take a seat.
Yeah.
Lovely to meet you.
Too.
So how can I help you? What would you like to find out?
We were adopted from a young age, so our mother is English, but we don't know any information about our biological father. You know, so obviously we've got a darker skin colour that comes from our father, but we don't know where he's from, where his ancestors are from, his family are from, any of that. So we're looking for those sort of answers.
So in terms of ancestry, you were born in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a port city, and it's got a lot of people from all over the world living there. Certainly ancestry-wise, what we can do is we can look at your DNA, and we can actually tell where people's ancestry comes from really accurately at things like the continental level. But I'm hoping that we'll be able to say something about regionally about where your ancestry seems to come from. The other thing that will be interesting to do is we can look at another piece of DNA. Because you are boys, the one thing I can say for certain, there'll be a piece of DNA that you all share and that you're identical on, and that's something known as the Y chromosome. So women, we've got 2 copies of this rather large X chromosome. Men have got an X chromosome, but they've also got this really tiny Y chromosome. It's a gene which sends the fetus down the path to becoming a boy. So that means men have it, they get it from their dads, which has come from their dad. But that's the one piece of DNA that you will definitely all share the same. Is your Y chromosome, and that will come from your dad. And that'll be an interesting thing to look at because particular types of Y chromosomes are found in particular parts of the world. Right, okay, so what we need to do at the start of this process is get a DNA sample from you, and for that, I need your saliva.
Churi and the team will now examine Peter and David's genetic code and compare it to the 25 million people already on worldwide DNA databases. It will be several weeks before they get their results. Before they receive the results of their DNA test tomorrow, Peter and David are visiting their parents. The boys want to find out how their parents feel about digging into their past.
I remember the first time our adoptive parents came to meet us. We were terrified.
I remember the door going, knock, knock, knock. And then straight away I hid behind the sofa.
All 3 of us were hiding.
It didn't take long for them to bring us round.
But there was always just so much love from the minute we met them.
We couldn't have asked for any better adopted parents.
The first time we saw you, you were in bed.
Fast asleep.
Oh, yeah. So we had to snuck upstairs and had a look in to see you all asleep, yeah.
It was just a laugh a minute. There were such little characters. When you've got 3 in an almost mirror image, it was exhausting, it was exhilarating, but I was just entranced by them, I'll be honest with you, I really was. But initially, we also had social services telling us about the fact that they were mixed race and would that be a problem? Didn't matter about their ethnicity. But the way that they were being treated, even at primary school, I remember one of them being in the bath and somebody had said something to him. And I said, what are you doing? He was really rubbing his arm, and he said, I'm trying to take the black off. And that broke my heart. You know, he was 5. When we moved it into Ireland, we really went there because we knew you would be accepted more, that you wouldn't be defined by your colour.
Yes, it was going to be a better life for you.
And it has been, do you think?
Yeah,
Exactly.
And I think the fact that you're still there
says it all.
says it
really.
all,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, it's home. So what's going to happen tomorrow?
We'll meet the geneticist, did we say?
The geneticist, yeah?
We will get our results and see what happens.
If there's ever a time to find out any information, it's probably going to be now or never. And if it's never, we tried it, we did our best, and that's what we can do. You know, no matter what answer we get, it's not going to change anything
I hope you
whatsoever.
let me know as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I wish I knew about the father. I tried to find out. I couldn't get anywhere at all. Because you need to know who your origins are. It's just, we take it for granted, actually. And we will be there to support them 100%.
Hey.
Hiya.
Hello, Peter. How are you?
I'm good.
Right, David.
Hello. Hello.
How's things?
Yeah. Good. Good.
How are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling okay.
Yeah. We're optimistic. Yeah.
And I remember you were sort of familiar with your birth mother's side.
Yeah.
The paternal side, no idea where he came from, what ethnicity he was.
Not at all.
I think we're at the stage now where it's now or never. You know, even if we don't get any information, it wasn't meant to be.
Well,
So today, I mean, it's pretty huge.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully you get some answers. So I'll have a quick chat with Churi and then have a quick chat with me.
Yeah.
See you in a bit.
Right, thanks so much.
See you in a bit.
Hello, you two. Come on in.
Hello.
Come and have a seat. So when you first came and saw me, you basically had one main question. Your biological father's heritage.
Yeah.
And actually, this is where DNA completely comes into its own, because you had nothing to go on. You didn't have any information, did you?
Nothing at all. No.
So what we did, the first bit, was we looked at your Y chromosome. Because you can look at somebody's Y chromosome and you can say something about their ancestry on their biological father's side. So remind me, where did you think your biological father came from?
I thought
Like-
South American
Yeah.
somewhere maybe.
Italy, maybe. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
We actually got a very clear result.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Your biological father had mixed ancestry,
Yeah.
but very clear locations as to where that came from.
Right.
So the first of those is actually in West Africa,
Right.
so around Liberia. I'll show you a map so you can have a look. So we are getting hits around Sierra Leone, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and up into Mali. It seems to be centered around Liberia. Obviously, DNA doesn't follow political borders. And we know that there's been huge amounts of sort of migration and people trading, and so you get a mixture of DNA here. So is that a bit of a surprise?
That's amazing, that, is
Yeah.
it?
Right, so the other half of your father's DNA, again, very clear. And it's from Northern Ireland.
Not too far away.
Okay, listen, I wasn't expecting that one.
So it is in South Down and North Louth. So
Right.
in this area here. So whereabouts do you guys
So,
live?
We grew up here and we now live. South Down is where we grew up.
So basically where you guys
Area, really, yeah.
grew up.
That's strange. I never once expected that.
We were surprised.
Wow.
The other thing that we were doing was that we were looking in the database and we're looking for people who share a high number of centimorgans with you. So centimorgans is basically a term that we use to describe how much DNA you're sharing in common with somebody else. And we got a match. So I'm going to draw you a family tree.
Okay.
So it seems to center around two brothers. This one is a chap called James. Over here, this is Samuel. Now, we are getting a match with a woman who we think is your first cousin. So James is her father. So we think that Samuel would be your father. We think that's the most likely scenario. Now, really sadly, from talking to the family, we think that Samuel died about a decade ago.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, we have talked to the family, but they are really, really not forthcoming.
I can understand that, yeah.
They actually don't want to have any more contact. So obviously, we're going to respect their wishes.
Yeah. We understand that.
Yeah. We've hit what we think is a bit of the, the end of the road for what we can do at the moment genetically. But I hope that goes at least sort of some way.
To have no information for your entire life, it's big, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very big thing. I wasn't expecting that at all. Wow.
Thank you, definitely.
Yeah, thanks very much.
That's great.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So nice to see you guys again.
You too. All right.
Bye now.
Thanks.
Are you all right?
Oh, good, yeah.
Yeah?
Good.
Yeah, good.
Feel okay?
Yeah.
Just wild
I know.
that you've got Northern Irish in your DNA.
And it's South Down, which where we grew up. It's the same area, which is crazy.
So we've now got Irish connections that, like, never in a million years would I have ever suspected that.
Do you feel any differently now you've got that information?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got answers, and we're happy enough with that, aren't we? Yeah.
And, I mean, how do you feel knowing that Samuel's no longer here? Obviously, you never knew him, you never had a relationship, but...
It's a strange feeling because your gut instinct is that you should feel emotions because your dad died, but...
We've got a great family around us, and it's just about
putting the final pieces to the jigsaw, really.
Are you wanting to give your mum a call?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Hello?
Hello,
Hey.
how are you?
I'm all right, thank you, Stacey.
Hey, Dad.
Hi, Dave.
Apparently we have West African DNA.
Really?
Yeah, so there's a close match to Liberia.
Really?
Yeah. Our father would have been mixed race. His mother was Northern Irish. So, and that's in and around South Down, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, David, we can rule out Italian.
Yeah. So there was a DNA match to a potential first cousin, if I got that right. Yeah. They managed to contact the family. Unfortunately, they didn't want to really have anything to do with it, which is understandable. You know, the man that could possibly be our father, actually, he died 10 years ago. That's what the family is saying.
How do you feel? How do you feel?
I'm happy that I've got answers.
You've got answers.
Yeah,
And everybody
exactly.
deserves that. Everybody.
35 years later, we got there.
Yeah.
Dad and I are so pleased for you.
I know.
Thank you.
So pleased. emotional because I'm so happy.
Stop, you're gonna make me cry.
I'm really pleased with you.
Mhm.
Well done.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
Yeah,
You'll never stop being our kids, though.
of course not, no.
You know that.
Yeah.
The answers we got were amazing. We're definitely stronger Irish connections now.
Yeah, it gives us stronger
Yeah.
roots in where we live already, which
Yeah.
is nice. Our main aim was to find out where half of our DNA comes from. When we've achieved that, we've really got the answers we've been looking for.